Because life happens when you least
Life
expect it.
doesn't slow down for good whiskey and women.
All right, so I don't know. I don't remember if I've done this one yet. I don't think I have. But here we have Ardbeg Grooves. I didn't even start it out right.
It's okay. Just go with it. Life happens. We just said that.
We're gonna do a whiskey review. No, you're all right. I like them.
You should jump in on this.
I like them ad-libbed and real.
Oh, really?
Because life happens. Too many people edit and cut and make it look perfect and
Oh, so it's just real life.
just real shit.
Okay.
Real shit.
Yeah, I like that poster.
Yeah.
Y'all are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stay behind the camera for obvious reasons.
For legal reasons.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who I am, but we're reviewing whiskey, and well, life happens.
Does that get an A+?
What? The whiskey?
Don't
I mean,
know.
I'll give it an A+. We hadn't even reviewed it yet. We just started.
Oh, okay.
Anything Ardbeg makes, though, generally,
It's good.
it's a win in my book. I
It's
haven't
good.
tasted. There's
Yeah.
one they have that I'm not a huge fan of, but will drink.
All right.
Well, I will watch y'all later.
Yeah, I'll post it. Probably tomorrow. We got a 12-minute time limit, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, we better,
yeah, we're a
better
minute and a
get
half
on
in.
this.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read the back of the box because it's kind of cool. Here at Ardbeg, we've always been passionate about the benefits of an alternative lifestyle. We dig peat. We dig peat, but we also dig crofting, crocheting, Celtic crosses, and campfires. In fact, you could call us the ultimate free spirits. But above all, a fiery passion burns in our souls and our casks for our whiskey. And Ardbeg Grooves is the latest example of our unorthodox ways. To create this whiskey, we laid it down in wine casks that had been intensely charred until heavy grooves formed on the surface of the wood. Wild Turkey or other distilleries likes to call that an alligator char. From these experimental dabblings comes a whiskey aromatic with smoked spices, distant bonfires, and chili seasoned meats. Sweet vibes of vanilla, popcorn, and smoky soot fade into a mellow haze of apples, fresh flowers, and smoked pear. I've never had smoked pear, but it sounds delicious. Bonnie's going wild. It's the grooviest thing to come out of the Ardbeg Distillery for decades. She just got a bath. So, I got my trusty distiller out. I also have a secondary guest on audio.
Yeah. Ghost taster.
Yeah, Ghost Taster. We will refer to him as Ghost Taster. So, the description. This is the general release of Ardbeg Grooves, with a previous release sold only to Ardbeg committee members. Wish I could have got one of those, because it rated higher on the distiller app.
Ooh, I will look.
Yeah. It's got a white label. White.
Okay.
Both were created in honor of Ardbeg Day. Oh, you're all wet. 2018, June 2nd, held during the Islay Festival of Music and Malt, Fayal. The theme for Ardbeg Day this year is Peat and Love. This groovy bottle gets its name from the grooves obtained after heavily charring the former red wine casks used to age a portion of the whiskey. The committee member release was bottled at 51.6, whereas while this one comes in at 46 to a much wider audience. Tasting notes. All right. A fair amount of brine to start, with hints of smoky barbecue. I don't get the smoky barbecue.
Yeah, but we're from Texas, where barbecue actually means something.
Yeah. It is quite meaty. That's what she said. But with bursts of black currants and red berries, as well as soot and iodine. Fairly big-bodied with a good viscosity. Yes, definitely oily.
Agreed.
The palate is ashy.
Like a cigarette?
Can a liquid be ashy? And the oak isn't shy at all. So that means the wood is ever present.
So it's like a campfire ash in your mouth.
Just take a bite of a charred stick. And you've got
Preferably hot.
plenty of cherry red. Plenty of spices with dark roasted fruits. The finish is sweet, smoky, and salty. I think they've covered everything. So I'm not really getting the barbecue. Hashtag distiller. I'd love for you to sponsor me. Mm. 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 I get the smoky barbecue on the palate. I do get the berries. And whatever, I've never had black currants, but I can imagine I'm tasting that as well.
I've got to go back in for another.
Mm.
That's so.
It's really good.
It's really distinct and different.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm.
It's got a distinct bite to it.
I get chocolatey note.
A little chocolate. I'm not tasting the saddle
I don't get the ashiness.
I don't get ashy.
I mean, so they said a fair amount of brine to start, hints of smoky barbecue, quite meaty, bursts of black currants and red berries, soot, iodine.
I get the iodine, and I definitely get the damn leather.
I don't get any soot. See, they don't even call for leather on this one. They didn't say leather at all.
Really?
But, I mean, in oak, you're going to get leather. Mm.
Get the toffee.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's really tasty.
It's kind of almost a mix between the
7 minutes.
Ardbeg 10 and maybe the no or the Ugadal.
Well, so it's like
The Ugadal, not the
so it's like I had this conversation before with Aaron on because I think we reviewed Ardbeg, or no, we did it on the podcast, Bearded Idiot podcast. Like us and share us with your friends. Thank you. Help us out. Share out our Patreon. Give us money. But we reviewed an Ardbeg, and he was like, "Oh, all Ardbeg tastes the same to me."
No.
But so this is what I told him. I'm like, "Man, you got to think, dude. Every single Ardbeg starts out exactly the same way.
It's the finish.
Yeah. So most of these are all start out as Ardbeg 10s. Now they'll offshoot like, all right, we're going to have this 100 barrels sit here for 10 years, but we're going to take these, mature them for 3 to 5, and they're going to be the the Ugadal, the Perpetuum, the what else is out there? A whole bunch of other stuff. Ardbeg Cruise. I mean, this one. This is a no age statement, so it very well could be a 5 or 6 year old Scotch.
Well, and the taste on that, I have to say 5 or 6 because
it doesn't.
fairly light.
I don't believe Ardbeg colors their whiskey.
No, then this one's definitely has a
because some Scotches do add coloring. Looking at you, McAllen.
It wouldn't go in the Ardbeg list. It wouldn't be the top of it, but it's definitely on my list now.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, it's a little higher priced.
Is it?
Yeah, you're gonna spend over 3 digits. It's gonna be 100 plus. But if it's something that you break out on occasion, you share it with friends, give them a taste. I mean, then
I'd have to rate that one right above the Kelpie for me personally.
I think they're worth it. Right above the Kelpie?
Right above the Kelpie. I like the 10 number 1. The 10's always going to be my number 1 whiskey across the board.
I mean, I did pick Ardbeg 10 over Lafroig 10 in a blind tasting. Just because it's more, it's got a stronger heartbeat to it, I guess.
Yeah, more soul.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, more soul.
It's got a thicker.
It's really distinct.
It's got
heavy.
a thicker punch. It's kind of like, yeah.
As my wife would say, house fire.
Yeah, it's definitely a house fire. I mean, they're both could be considered house fires, but.
But then it'd have to go. The Ugadal, Kelpie. No, Grooves and the Kelpie.
I kind of like. I kind of like the Ugadal better. But, I mean, I've had plenty of the other releases that you never got to try.
Yeah.
Except for that one night where I was like, here, taste this. There's some left in it.
What is wrong with
it? It was so stupid. But, I mean, I've had the Dark Cove. I had one of the first releases of the Dark Cove. The Supernova.
Oh, the Supernova was good.
The one that supposedly went into space.
But you can't get there? Went into low Earth
Hey,
orbit?
we don't bring that up on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah. We bring that up on the podcast.
Oh.
Tune into the Bearded Idiots podcast, folks. But yeah, so I like it. I'd recommend it. If you got the money and you want to find something that's a little off the wall, it's definitely something good to pick up. So
Yeah, if you can find it.
You should be able to find it still. It's still fairly, relatively easy to get. Not for long, though.
No. If you find the Unnamed,
No.
just pick it up and ship it. I mean, we won't be mad at you.
Well, that one's going to be a regular release.
They're going to continue that one?
Yeah, that's going to be the new edition.
God, it's so hard to find. Nobody knows what it is.
Well, it's brand new. But we're running low on time, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the outro. I would introduce my co-host today,
Ghost Taster.
Ghost Taster. I am at Son of Thor 3, aka Redbeard. It's coming in nice, folks. Check out Bearded Idiots podcast. We do a whiskey review every week. We'll release on Sundays. You can find it and follow us and like us. My cohorts are at Whiskey Vein, Whiskey with an E, Vein with an E, and at the Curtis H. So check us out at Bearded Idiots Podcast on Instagram as well. Like us, share us with your friends. Buy some whiskey, share it with your friends, get drunk, have a good time. You got 3 seconds.